Hello and welcome to the INDYCAR Debrief, where we're going to take you inside the 2021 NTT INDYCAR Series and help you make your picks for the INDYCAR Fantasy Challenge driven by Firestone. My name's Jen Horsey, and I'd like to introduce you to my co-hosts, Conor Daly, INDYCAR driver, and Lawrence Foster from RACER Magazine. And this week we've got a special guest for you in Alexander Rossi. Hey guys.
How are we doing?
Hey.
Hello.
I know I'm excited for this show. We're going to give everyone in the entire world all their information that they need to make the exact right picks and to only be correct when it comes to fantasy lineups for this INDYCAR season. I am a previous INDYCAR fantasy sports champion at some point, very unofficially. I did beat my family and a few other INDYCAR fans, so I feel ready to give out my advice. I feel very excited to have a very well-educated human being in Alexander Rossi here, as well as Lawrence, who probably knows more about racing than we do. But I am very, very excited because this is my bread and butter. I love speculation. I love a bit of, opinionated, maybe just assumptions on what's going to happen. Because I don't care. I'll throw out some emotional answers. I'll get some things going. So I'm excited for this. Lawrence, how do you feel about it?
I'm good. As you say, we're the guys who write about it, but you're the guys who do it. So, your opinions are going to count a whole lot more than ours. So, tell you what, to get it cracking, we've been writing a lot on RACER about, this guy, Scott Dixon, and for the 7th title. It's almost like we've become obsessed by Scott going for number 7. So, what are your thoughts on the champion's defense?
Well, we hope he doesn't do it. We hope he does not win the 7th title. I know Alex is definitely going to have something to say about that. I would like to also participate in trying to defeat Scott Dixon, but it's hard to beat him. I mean, the guy is incredible. He's incredibly talented. He's, a 6-time champion for a reason. The squadron that he's got at Chip Ganassi Racing is an incredible group of people. So his engineer, Michael Cannon, my first engineer in IndyCar, very, very smart guy. But Alex, I mean, are you gonna take the fight to him or what? I mean, come on, it's time to bring that Napa wagon up to the old championship battle.
This is your year, Alex.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and thanks for including me on this conversation about I don't really know what, but I'm happy to be here anyways. And yeah, I mean, I think what Scott's accomplished in kind of the modern day era of motorsports, whether that be IndyCar, Formula One, NASCAR, whatever, where the equipment for the most part is so equal up and down the board. I mean, it's amazing to see what he's been able to do. In a previous life, there was engine manufacturers that, if you had that engine, you were going to be seconds quicker than your competition. And Scott's done all this in really an era where that doesn't exist. So it just goes to show what a special talent that he is, and also the continuity that he's had with the 9-car guys and CJR or CGR rather, and just how special that relationship has been. And it's cool to compete against him. It's very frustrating because he's good at everything. He's good at,
and he's very lucky
aspects of being a motor racing driver. But you can also learn from that, and it gives you a great benchmark to kind of.
You guys, I don't want to knock Scott's accomplishments. He's had a tremendous career, but 2020 was such a messed up year. That's the championship year that has an asterisk beside it. I wouldn't have wanted that one. I mean, you always want a championship, but I wouldn't have wanted that one. How does it feel going into Barber opening weekend, heading there this weekend? How does it feel to be normal? We're going to have fans this year. We've got a schedule we can kind of predict this year.
It looks great, honestly. I mean, for us personally, for me personally, I have not raced at Barber since 2017. So it's been a very, very long time. But to think that the last time, most of these guys have raced at Barber was before the aero screen, it feels like a long, long time ago now. So I know we tested there at the end of the season last year. We've also tested there, me personally, earlier this year. So we definitely feel ready for it. I think everyone else is just excited to have more events. I think the doubleheaders were tough, and especially if they were at tracks that weren't necessarily your favorites. But now we finally have a little bit more diversity in the schedule. We're going back to some of the street courses and some of the road courses that we really enjoy, and that hopefully we put a really good show on at. So, Barber is going to be a tough place to start the season because physically it is one of the most demanding tracks, I think, on the schedule. I know during the test a couple weeks ago, when you try to do long runs there and you try to, put together qualifying laps every lap, I mean, it is without a doubt one of the toughest places to start the season because of the neck, your arms, all the G load there. There's so much grip at Barber. There's so much elevation change, and it really makes it challenging on us. So I don't envy some of the rookies like Jimmy Johnson and Roman Grosjean and Scott McLaughlin. I mean, those guys are going to get really stepping in at the deep end for sure at Barber.
Yeah, Lawrence, tell us a little bit what you're thinking about that rookie class. It's pretty impressive this season.
Well, the great thing is we've got it where these three, massive story rookies, two of them are only doing the road and street courses, but our first couple of races, we actually get to see all three of them at the same time. And I'm intrigued. We're talking to Jimmy Johnson, he's saying that his biggest thing is basically unlearning as opposed to learning, sort of like making that switch from the dynamics of a cup car to an Indy car. Scott McLaughlin has got a bit of a head start there. He's already got a race under his belt. But for me, the great unknown is Roman Grosjean. And Alex, I know that you shared the track with him in Formula One. I mean, what are your thoughts on Grosjean and the other rookies?
Yeah, I mean, I think Roman is one of those guys that was so impressive in his junior Formula career, and then kind of got put into a weird situation in F1, and then left and went and did sports car racing, and then got the opportunity to come back, and was never really in equipment that was maybe representative of his capabilities. And I think that kind of degraded as his F1 career went on, actually. And he's someone that I think coming out of, your Formula 3s and your GP2s, he was on the same level as, a Leclerc or a Nico Hülkenberg or a Jules Bianchi or something like that. He was one of those ones. He was quite special when you watched him drive, and then just never really got the equipment. So I think he's thrilled about the opportunity to come to IndyCar and know that he has a shot kind of every race weekend, just with kind of the equal opportunity that exists up and down the field for guys to win the race, just because of the parity and it being so relatively equal. And then I know Scott, he's ever since he started dating his now wife, who's from California, his goal was always to come to race in America. And he was super pumped when, Team Penske afforded him that opportunity. And he kind of made a deal with Roger and Tim. And it was like, if I win X amount and I do X amount in supercars, then you have to let me come race in America. And he was able to do that. So it's really cool to see his kind of dream come true from the other side of the world. And then Jimmy, I mean, he's a legacy guy, right? He's someone who's arguably the most successful Cup driver ever. One of the best to ever see a racetrack. And the fact that IndyCar is so high on his list of things that he wanted to do, and his time after NASCAR just is another representation of how interesting and how high of a regard people hold IndyCar. We saw that with Fernando and the desire that he had to come do the Indy 500. The IndyCar is not just a North America racing series. It's seen as a global destination, and I think that improves every single year. So it's really awesome what we have going for this year, and the fans are in for quite a treat.
There's so many different disciplines represented in that IndyCar, like that rookie class. What are the biggest challenges that they're going to have to learn with this series? Is there a trick in the driving? These are general questions, but is there something in the new vehicle this year that you think might give you an edge, say, Conor or Alex, over some of these guys who are coming from different disciplines?
I would say it's just getting the track experience and getting the knowledge about how we race. I think our racing compared to Formula One, where Roman is coming from, there's no DRS. We have push to pass, which helps a lot, but the other guy can use that too to defend. So there's going to be a lot more wheel to wheel action, maybe a lot more wheel banging than he's used to in Formula One. If those cars get touched, they seem to explode and crumble. So for us, they're a little bit tougher. And that's going to be great. But I actually really enjoy how Roman's embracing him. And the guy's been driving an RV around Florida with his wife and family for a while now, just to get into the American theme. So I respect the heck out of that. And you obviously know Scott's, I mean, they're all with, pretty respectable teams. You know what I mean? I mean, I was a rookie with Dale Coyne Racing, and, we were on the podium. We were in, competitive positions multiple times. So, that Dale wants to make sure that Roman's got a good shot at it. And then Ganassi, obviously with Jimmy, I mean, that's, one of the best teams in the sport. And then Scott's got Penske. So those guys are going to be very, very difficult to beat once they start getting it. But it's going to be interesting. One thing about Jimmy is I keep telling people, I was like, don't even look at his results until halfway through the season. Don't even start judging. Don't even start asking like, oh, can he do it, until halfway through the season? Because it's one of those things that he's going to get better every weekend. He's going to start figuring things out. But it is no easy task to do what we're doing. I think it's definitely one of the most competitive, if not the most competitive, racing championship in the world. And it's just exciting to see that type of attention, being given to IndyCar, because I truly believe that, we have an incredible opportunity this year to show more of the world what we have to offer, and that the product on track, what we've got is really special. So, and we want to make sure that there could be, 8 different winners in the first 8 races. You know what I mean? Like something that'll really shake up your fantasy lineups. And that's kind of what it's going to be all about this year is, maximum competition and how close will it be in qualifying? How close will it be in the race finishes?
Is there somebody that you guys are looking out for who is maybe ready for a breakout year? Maybe not somebody who's coming from somewhere else, but we've already got him in the field. Is it Colton Herta's year to have a breakout season?
I would say Colton is a great pick. But I would also say that whole Andretti armada is quite strong, Alex being one of them. I mean, you've got all race winners in that group. You've got Indy 500 champions, IndyCar champion. I mean, it's something that is a really, really, really strong and impressive lineup. So they're going to be very, very difficult to beat. I think, though, maybe a dark horse for the championship might be maybe Graham Rahal. Maybe he finally puts all the races together and has a good fight for the championship. But other than that, I mean, you're going to see the same 3 guys. You're going to see Joseph, Alex, and Scott, dueling it out for sure. I don't want to take myself out of the race here, but we got to, I'm actually not necessarily signed up for the full season yet, so I got to get there first. But I think that's going to be cool. Alex, what do you think? Who's like your dark horse pick for like who you got to beat the most this year? I mean, Colton is the obvious choice, but I don't know if there's anyone else that you thought during testing. It's like, oh, this guy could be, this could be our guy.
It's a real easy answer for me, and it pains me to say it, but I think Pato's going to be very annoying this year. Not in a bad way. I love him as a kid, but I think he's going to be really quick. And I think
it'll be in a bad way for me, honestly.
There's a huge amount of investment, obviously, into Schmidt. I don't even know what McLaren from McLaren, and so I think that they're kind of out with a point to prove. So I think he's going to be strong, and then it'll be Joseph, Scott, Will, Colton, the typical players. But I think Pato will be the addition for sure.
So before you guys get out on track, we're going to need to sign up and make our picks for the IndyCar Fantasy Challenge. Lawrence, why don't you tell us how that works before we make our selections here? Tons of great info to inform what we're going to choose, but tell us how it works.
Hey, well, so it couldn't be easier. This is free. This is for anybody around the world. You can actually join in to the world's fastest fantasy sports league. Basically, go to fancy.indycar.com and sign up that way if you haven't already signed up, or use the IndyCar app powered by NTT Data to sign up that way. Once you get in there, it's simple. Every race, IndyCar assigns a salary, a price, as it were, to each driver. you got $100 to spend on 4 drivers. So the skill comes in. You know, you can't have the big 3 as Conor referred to them every week. The big thing is to actually use your $100 wisely. Get a couple of the big guns, get a couple of, the guys who you think are going to break out. And basically the points are the points that these guys earn for real in the race. So there are finishing points, there are bonus points for leading laps, leading most laps. And there's also bonus points for you picking the top 3 podium. And at the end of every weekend, there is a round winner. And at the end of the year, there is a grand prize winner. And that grand prize is actually a VIP trip to a 2022 IndyCar race with a guest. So it's worth playing the season, but it's also worth playing single races for bragging rights.
Yeah, for sure. And, Conor, I mean, I think Lawrence, you guys, we got to start a league, obviously.
I think so.
Maybe, man, Lawrence, I think you've got an advantage in these picks, but maybe, how about you have to share your advice? Give us some advice. If you have to make 4 picks, give us some advice. What have you got for us?
Can you
Well,
even
I'm
name
not saying this is my complete forecasting, but we
Me?
Yeah.
Are you saying I can't name an IndyCar driver?
No,
I have 2 of you sitting right there. I can read it off the screen. We're good.
No, can you name 10?
wow.
Great question. Great question. No cheating.
Oh.
Can you name?
So I love racing, but I come to hang out with you guys and watch you race. Look, I'm going red. Let me try. Okay. Joseph Newgarden.
Okay.
Will Power.
Yep.
Scott Dixon.
Okay.
Alexander Rossi.
Yeah.
Conor Daly. Romain Grosjean.
Correct.
Simona de Silvestro.
Nope. Doesn't count.
What?
What? She totally counts.
No.
Oh.
I'm saying full time guys.
Well, I don't see this is then I'm going to get in trouble.
Fine, Simona.
I don't know who's full time
Four
anyway.
more.
I love to watch you guys, but I'm not with you every time. I will be this season.
Hey, this is an educational program. It's fine. We're here. We're educating the public. We're educating our co-hosts. We're educating everyone. You know, Alex and I, we might educate each other at something at some point during this program. We never know. We're excited for the potential opportunities to do so.
Connor,
so Jen, this is your chance.
No, I love that he's defending me. It's fantastic, but it's good. I mean, I can name how many rallycross drivers can you name, Alex? Let's go.
All of them.
Scott Steves, Timmy Hansen.
Good.
What about Tanner?
Tanner.
Yeah. Nice job.
Who's that guy we did the iRacing rally? Mitchell DeYoung. He was fast as balls.
Does he do real racing? Yes, he does real racing, right?
He did. Yeah.
Okay, there you
go.
go.
We are super derailed now.
Sorry, we derailed. Yeah. This is the IndyCar Fantasy Challenge.
I'm going to put you on the spot next, Alex.
That's fine.
So now that I've named 7 or 8 IndyCar drivers, which I think
6.
is pretty good.
Hey, it was more than that.
Colton Herta. I'll keep going
Nailed it.
slowly. It just starts to slow down now.
That's all right.
Lawrence, pick 4, and maybe give me I need 3 more names.
Give us
All
some
right,
hints.
we've been running the numbers. We've been using the same computer we used to mine bitcoins and come up with a couple of choices for this one. So run the screen. This is a couple who are extremely obvious, but hey, Joseph Newgarden, if you look at his stats from Barber for the past 5 years, it's incredible. 3 wins, a 3rd, and a 4th. And contrast that with Scott Dixon. Scott has got 10 starts at Barber, has finished second 6 times, finished 3rd twice. So, I mean, statistically, the guy has got to have a win in him somewhere, coming up soon. That it's sort of Vegas odds that he hasn't, got a win with that finishing record yet. A couple of other guys to maybe sort of tick off in your team. Takuma Sato. The last time IndyCar raced at Barber, Takuma took the win, but he'd got a couple of top 10s in the previous 2 races. And also Graham Rahal, his teammate, between them, RLL have actually got a pretty stout record at Barber. And maybe looking, we've been talking about breakout winners. Last year, Pato O'Ward pretty much did everything apart from win a race. Finished 4th in points, had some really good momentum towards the end of the season. So, maybe Pato's going to take that momentum and actually deliver that first win in Barber. But over to you guys. We've on purpose didn't include Conor and Alex. We want those guys to make their own cases.
Well, I have an opinion on you. You obviously mentioned Scott Dixon, right? And Ganassi, for some reason, did not test with everyone else at Barber when most of us were there. Alex, you were there, right? You guys didn't test either because, again, very secretive human beings. But everyone said that Ganassi was very, very fast at their test at Barber. But again, could have been track conditions, could have been a whole number of things. But the fact that Scott hasn't won there is wild. I think it's impossible to not include Joseph Newgarden. I mean, Joseph Newgarden seems like he wins every single race at Barber. I don't even, when Takuma won there, it was kind of surprising. I didn't really understand what happened there or how he got there, but he made it happen. So, if I'm going to pick my 4 right now, I can pick 4, right? And I'm going to do it. We obviously don't know who's going to be worth what dollar amount yet. So I'm going to try and go not pick the usual heaters. I'm going to go with some, underdog, maybe some cheap, reasonably priced humans in this draft, this fantasy draft. But 1,000% picking Joseph. I have my entry list right here as well because I have information. I'm thinking someone who is going to be maybe reasonably priced is Alex Palou, potentially. I think Ganassi, if they're fast, he's going to be good. I think another one, honestly, probably Alex. I think that's probably going to be my second heater, I would say, or the probably the top pick. And I don't know. That seems like an expensive lineup so far, so I'm going to try and pick someone a little bit maybe lower down the list. Rinus VK, my teammate. Honestly, he was quickest at our test when we were there with, I think, 12 or 13 cars. Rinus seems to be really good there. I was not quite able to match him yet. I plan on it. But yeah, I don't plan on picking myself. I don't like picking myself at Barber. I'm not a big fan of Barber, to be honest. Have not enjoyed racing there. Don't enjoy the racing there. Nope. It's not a great race circuit, to be honest. Yeah, you can't really pass anyone ever. So it's going to be all down to qualifying, and Rinus seems to be able to put together a big lap. Having said that, though, he does have a broken finger. So I don't know if that'll affect him a lot, but maybe the broken finger will drive the price down. And boom, you'll be rewarded with a great pick should he stick it out and be very well prepared.
Was that 4? Was that all 4?
That was 4. Again?
Help me out.
So we got Joseph, we got Alex, we got Palou, and we got Rinus.
All right, that's a very healthy lineup. I'm surprised. I was sure that was going to be Conor Daly, and Conor Daly.
Nope, absolutely not.
Alex, is it Alex Rossi, and Alex Rossi?
No, because I also do not like Barber. I think we'll be all right. So no, I would Joseph, because that just goes against my existence. So I would go Scott, Will, because let's be honest, Will should have won like 25 more races than he actually has. And the amount of times he breaks down from the lead or pole is absurd. So at one point, that's got to change. So Scott, Will. I like the Rinus pick. I don't think that's reality, but I mean, I see where your head's at. Scott, I'm really struggling to remember who drives race cars in IndyCar.
Can you name any IndyCar drivers? I had the entry list.
Right. So Scott, Will. Cheaper people. I like Graham. I think
he's probably not going to be cheap though.
He'll be pretty cheap. I think. All right. But Rahal was 1-2 in qualifying there a while ago, and I think Graham was going to win the race. Takuma won, and he broke down. And I think he's got a bit of the bit between his teeth, just with the horrible luck and circumstances, whatever you want to call it, he's had the past couple of years. So Scott, Will, Graham, and then I don't know. Let's go.
Just roll the dice.
Let's go.
A
McLaughlin.
sensational rookie performance, maybe.
Yeah, like he won the iRace there, and iRace is realistic.
Yeah, very realistic.
So,
Super realistic. In fact.
McLaughlin, Power, Dixon, and Graham.
All right. Well, we're not going to hold these two yet. We're going to give you just a little minute, but then we are going to actually make our picks. We're going to go away and we're going to log on our phones and make our picks.
I'm not doing that.
Well, then we're going to lock you in and we'll make our picks.
Just
later.
lock him in right here.
Yep. Those are the picks. We're going to have like a wild card player in our league, and you're going to be wild card player number 1, and then we'll change it up every week. So the casual fans picks, take them or leave them. It'd be awesome if I won this league, by the way. I'm going to go, Alex Rossi, Conor Daly. So that's 2.
Imagine we finished 1-2. How funny would that be?
That would be pretty amazing. Can you guys do that? Because it would help my league picks?
We would be the most confused duo on the podium ever.
Absolutely. It would be very, very confusing.
Fantastic. It'll help my fantasy league. I'm all for it. I think I want to pick Colton Herta, and I'm going to go with Will Power. So that's my 4, but I'm not committing yet. I still gotta log into my phone and get it done. So we will see.
I'm excited about it.
We're locking in their picks. Do you guys have any other sage wisdom for them? Any other tips
Alex,
about what's coming?
I have a question for Alex. This is a fairly highly debated topic. Alex, let's talk about the moon landing.
Wow.
Alleged.
Alex doesn't believe that we landed on the moon, and I am furious about it.
I thought that's what the portrait was behind him. I thought that was one small step for a man right there in that artwork.
I don't not believe in the moon landing.
Okay.
I just can see both sides of the story. Okay. But here's something that blew my mind. And Conor, I know that you're kind of on this page as well because aliens, right? And you believe that aliens are a thing. So let's take the span of time, right? And our existence on this planet as being, for reference, this big, right? Technology really didn't exist, yeah, for the majority of this span of time. And then in 100 years ago-ish to 100 years ago to probably 40 years ago, technology went on this incredible trajectory, right? That's just unbelievable. And the things that we can do now that our grandparents didn't even understand, right? And now technology seemingly is kind of plateau. An internal combustion engine is the same that it's been since it was really created, plus or minus fuel injection and a couple other things, right? So there was this massive ramp up in technology in this span of time that is relatively quite small.
How long does this conjecture go on?
For the existence
what are we talking about even right now?
The existence of the Earth, the technology was small, and now I don't know. Something must have happened, right? What caused all that technology to come so quickly? And
what's kind of amazing is that Conor just texted me because he froze in the best position possible in the Zoom call with the his internet just went out. So that pretty much wraps up the show. We have learned what we've learned is that Alex's suggestions for the fantasy challenge are, he doesn't believe in the moon landing. So we're not.
That's not true.
We're not. We're just. It feels like you just kind of discredited yourself. But I'm still picking you. Oh, Conor came back, and it's nice job, Conor. You're back. Welcome. He finished his story, which it sort of sounds like you've heard before. I'm suggesting that perhaps he's just kind of discredited himself from making picks for the fantasy league based on that. And so with that, it kind of feels like you guys should just go racing and we should make our picks and get on with this fantasy league. Oh no.
Jordan Taylor once put out a tweet a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, please explain to me how we can't get radio signal on the back of Mulsanne Strait in Le Mans, yet we got the radio to the moon.
So you know what's amazing? There's a technician who you guys can't see named George. and he's about to put a fantastic screen up. So make sure you tune in on Sunday, April 18th, for the opener of the Honey Indy Grand Prix from Alabama, starting at 3 p.m. on NBC. Practice and qualifying on Peacock, warm up on Peacock, and check in on Thursdays for more from the INDYCAR Debrief at RACER.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to sign up for the INDYCAR Fantasy Challenge driven by Firestone before the green flag on Saturday. I'm going to do it right now, and I know I'm going to rock this league.
Guys, we're on Network NBC. You have to watch it. It's going to be an incredible broadcast. I mean, I'm excited for it. We have a lot of activities going on this year. It's going to be a great season, despite what Alex thinks about the moon landing. And I'm very excited about this season and maybe having some, more exciting guests, maybe some celebrity pickers, maybe some, so who knows what's going to happen, but we're all about throwing out some opinions. Can't wait to see how wrong we were or how right we were, because that's really going to be some bragging rights deals right there.
Yep. And Alex has thrown down the gauntlet. By the end of this season, we will be doing this pretty much debriefing every race. I will definitely be able to name 10 IndyCar drivers. So thank you very much, Alex, for my season goal.
We will see.
Thanks all.